are you having the fish fry since I see you've been, using your kids as manual labor to fill up your freezers? You're on mute, Nate. Isn't that like the most
How
like,
do we, we're most obvious likely that we always do it.
yeah, everybody always does it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good.
So it wouldn't let me call in with my computer today for some reason. So I have to be on my cell phone, but then it's still muted through Zoom and my cell phone. So double muted. We didn't catch enough fish for that, but my brother cooked them up in some fashion that I've never heard of, like Bermuse or something like that. Basically, it's like poached in butter. It was good.
Nice.
Very good for you too.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But yeah, spent a lot of time ice fishing. Not a lot of time at ice catching though.
Yeah, my little dude wants to get out. I think we're gonna try to get him out on Saturday. So we're gonna see how that works. I'm just talking to a buddy. I have like a 2-minute flip over, but he has one of those like suitcase ones. And I'm like, that would be perfect. I just put him in there, don't drill any holes, put the heater in there. He gets cold, go in there. There's nothing that you can drop on a hole, nothing like that. It's gonna be perfect. All right, well, I think we'll kick this off, and as people come in, they can come in. So as I said before, we had 2 more drops. Steve Wilson and then Sarah Gellerstrude. So our numbers are starting to dwindle again, but it sounds like some people are reaching out to other people, and I reached out to a handful of people, and there was potentially conflicts with our group and like BNI, and they're going to check it out and see how that was all going to work. So just keep inviting people, because hopefully maybe this summer, back when it's nice out, or like spring, we can all just get back together again and meet in person, even if it's outside and whatnot. Just because I'm really sick and tired of Zoom. I think a lot of people are. But
Like I know at one point Randy had put together like a little bio thing for all of us as far as like our specialties or our, what I'm wondering is like, for example, me and Adam, like we kind of spill into the same category, but we want to keep it separate so that we know if we're recruiting people, what areas not to look for. Do we have an updated list of that now?
Yeah, I can update it. We were just kind of waiting to see I was waiting kind of for Blake to make a hard line of who was coming, who was staying, who was going, so I could rearrange it to make it aesthetically pretty. So I'll get that out. I will make a note for myself. I'll have that to you guys in the next day or so. And then then I'll send you guys a proof. You guys can read your own bio. If you want any changes on it, just let me know, and then I'll get it updated right away.
yeah, I guess if you have someone that you want to invite that's potentially going to clash with someone else, you can either go straight to that other person and say, hey, I'm looking at bringing so-and-so. This is what they do. Are you okay with it? And normally that works out a lot of stuff. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, bring them to me and I'll do that. This person's looking to join in. Are you okay? This is what they do. Because like I said, there's quite a few of us here that cross mingle in different areas, but we don't really clash. So it works out. So it'll just be a thing of make sure everybody is okay with it, and if everybody's okay. Because once again, we're looking for connectors. Be able to, if you're coming in and saying, I'm looking for, like I'll even start off right now. I'm looking for owners of breweries and also owners of manufacturing companies. Are 2 places that I'm going to start going after, because I got a company right now that has some really good programs for them. So I'm just looking to get in touch with people that own breweries and own manufacturing. So it can be manufacturing of like nuts and bolts. It can be manufacturing of whatever. We just got a company right now that has a really good product out there for that. And so, if there's someone that's in here that also, there's 3 of us that can sell life insurance. I mean, we're all not fighting for that life insurance business. We're just looking to be connected to certain people that falls into place. So that will be my little 2 minutes, I guess. Hannah, why don't you go next, and we'll finish up our side, and then we can go through the screen.
Okay, filled you in that I'm moving locations. Why that's relevant is because I had a dream studio upstairs in Artisan Forge where I did a lot of group lunch and learns, food demos, different things to really inspire people in the community. However, with COVID, that's changed. I was always hoping that would, go away, but it's not. So I'm moving to a different location where it's going to be more functional for what I want to do and obviously more online stuff. So that's going to be on Bracket. Really excited. That is probably my biggest transition. For those of you who knew Hannah for a short while, that has ended, which is a-okay. Everything is super professional and civil, and it's really for the better for everybody. So it feels good. It feels like I'm kind of at this good refreshing point of now like a pivot I want to go. So what I'm looking for is anyone that can get me in touch with Willow Creek Clinic or Willow Creek, where they focus on women's health and probably do it more preventatively. So
Hannah, I can help you with that. I have some good contacts there, and Sarah probably does too, because her office is right across the street. She probably knows some of those folks as well.
oh, that would be fantastic. Maybe message me after the meeting and we can talk.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll start working our way across the top. So we have Ryan first.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully 2021 turns out to be better than 2020. But a couple of things that we have available that I'd be looking for. So we have a fitness space in Menominee downtown at our 503 Broadway project. We had somebody that opened right before COVID hit, and just, bad timing on their part to open, and it just didn't work out. So we have a space that would work really well for fitness. Same thing downtown where the well was located. She relocated closer to latitude 44. So we have a space there that could work really well for, yoga or any type of a fitness space similar to that. So those are a couple of things that I'm looking for. So if anybody knows anybody that's looking for space or might be looking for space into the spring, summer, I'd be happy to chat with them, and we'd probably be able to work out a pretty good deal on either of those spaces.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Ryan. And definitely, yes, everybody's been asking when I've been talking to people on the phone, how are things going? I'm like, well, I feel like it's like a big hangover that's called 2020. You're just coming into 2021, you're just like, I feel so drained. So hopefully 2021 is a lot better.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, I know. But you gotta look forward to something
Yeah.
great, right? All right. Nate, are you or Brian gonna present? Or you both want to?
Oh, I can talk today. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So we are excited to be in the new year, I guess, hoping like everybody else for a little bit different 2021 and getting ready for PPP round 3. So we're super pumped and excited to start that frenzy any day now. So ramping up, Brian and I will both be underwriting those loans. So we, if you remember back to how much of a disaster the first round was with changing rules and frantic frenzy for the money before it ran out, I don't expect that to happen this time. I think that the new criteria are going to minimize the number of people that are able to take advantage of this round, but also get some businesses that really need it and really are going to use these funds, some money at a good time. So excited to get some funding out there to businesses in the community. The first round and second round, I guess you could call it a second round, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with their banks because it was the SBA putting the banks in a pretty impossible situation. So even if the bank got the loan done, there's still many customers that are dissatisfied with how the process went, and really not the bank's fault, but it does open the door for a lot of opportunity for us, in customers that we've talked to since then, or non-customers, prospects that just want to try the process somewhere else. So our process is completely digital. For people that are tech savvy, they go into a portal, they enter their information, they upload their documentation. It goes off to an underwriter like Brian or myself. We used the first round and the second round to really get good at that. Barring some big change by the government or the SBA, we expect this round to be relatively the same as far as underwriting and documentation. So we've got it kind of down to a science. It goes really fast. I mean, Brian can chime in, but I think towards the end of the second round, we were getting applications in and approved, some of them within 7 to 10 minutes, and then off to the SBA if the documentation was right and the applications were correct. So we're able to move really fast on things. I would expect we do 30 to 50,000 applications in this round, and we funded over 108,000 in the first and second round. So we're ready to go at a large scale. And, there's going to be banks that decide not to even participate in this like they did in the first round. There'll be banks that have limited caps on how much they can participate because some of these loans are sitting on their books and they don't like that because they haven't applied for forgiveness. And so the banks are just sitting on these things. So, that's kind of what we're getting ready for here. I mean, this is typically a really slow time of the year for the banking business. So it's not that we're super excited to be facilitating government-backed programs, but that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple months. So.
Perfect. All right. Thanks.
Could I actually ask a question? So I know that the PPP loans for last round were based on businesses' taxes from 2019. I guess, is there any talk from the banking industry, and I guess maybe Trav, you can chime in too from your industry, but is there any, I guess, light at the end of the tunnel for those folks that had opened their businesses in 2020 for future PPP, I guess, benefits or other programs for them that are more recent business owners?
I think this round is relatively the same. The business had to be established by like February 15th, and I'll let Brian correct me because he knows better, but I think it's February 15th of 2020 to take advantage of the last round, and it's the same for this round. So short answer, not really. Because, anybody that started after that point started during the pandemic. So it's kind of like, it's not that they might not need help and business could be struggling, but you kind of started knowing what you're in, and that's kind of where the government's at with that piece. So.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Nate. Next, we'll go to Mr. Ida.
Hello, everyone. Talking about 2021, I was on Twitter this morning and I laughed because I have to steal something from somebody, but they said, I would like to cancel my subscription to 2021. I've had the 7-day free trial and I'm not interested. I laughed pretty good at that one, but
That's
from a business standpoint, we stayed very steady through December. A lot of folks looking at their estate planning, setting things up for the future. So that'll carry into the beginning of 2021. So individuals that may be looking at retirement in the near future. We've also got a few cash alternative investments that we're putting together for folks that may be interested in doing that. They may want to be liquid, but they will have a high amount of cash just kind of sitting there. So they want some different options to remain liquid with. And then any businesses that are looking at, haven't looked at their 401k plans in a while, we're happy to do a free analysis and see if maybe we're an option that could add some value to their company.
perfect. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ida. All right, next on our screen, we have Carrie Jo.
Hi, nice to see you guys. Business-wise, I guess, kind of had a busy month in December. A lot of gift cards were sold.
I got one for Christmas, by the way.
Oh, nice work.
I was like, my husband got me one. I was like, did you know? Like, I know her? Like, he's like, no, I just thought you'd like it. It's like,
That's awesome. Yeah, I was surprised how much the online gift cards were. And I don't even know who's selling them. Like, I don't get their name when they do it that way.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I was really surprised. That's awesome. Got to your husband. So yeah, that's hopeful. I don't know. It's a good how I stagger my appointments and everything. It helps minimizing risk. So people seem to still be comfortable coming in to use what I have. So hopefully that continues forward in 2021. I think it's a little too early right now, but what I would be looking for over the next couple of months is I wanted to try to set up some lunch and learns. If they need to be Zoom, that's fine. But with like a, dermatology practice or pulmonology, something like that. That's probably what I'd be looking for now.
Well, thank you, Carrie.
What?
I said, thank you.
Oh.
Randy, we got you up next.
Yeah, no big changes in my industry right now. This is a big lull for me as well right now. People were really thinking about family at the end of the year. But now I kind of get the brush off of, hey, like it's tax season. Hey, we're thinking about other things. Hey, we have a vacation coming up. Hey, my snowbirds are getting ready to pack up and go to Florida. So this is a pretty quiet time of the year for me right now. Unfortunately, the folks that I worked with yesterday, I sensed a lot of fear just with what's going on in our world and at the Capitol and all the things going on. These folks are scared. They're older. They're in a very vulnerable population. And so I guess this is a new thing for me too, of just learning how to really acknowledge those concerns of theirs and really help them through that from an insurance standpoint. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Other than that, life is good. Eddie's getting big. He rolled over. So big monumental milestone. So yeah, nothing else really exciting in my world. And then I'm going to send everybody right now the past directory. I put in there if you want to update anything in your bio, or you want to use a different headshot, or you don't have a bio yet, to provide me with that information back, and I'll get that back in your hands by the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Randy. Mr. Ben, rocking, is that blue flannel you got going on there?
Yes, it is. B&B even.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody. So I guess, the new year just started. Looks like a very promising year from a construction standpoint so far. We're excited about that, and should be a good sign, I think, for the economy anyway. Right now, we'd be looking for, again, it's like what I talked about last time. It's a lot of those conversations starting where companies are looking at an addition, a new build. We work with companies from a conceptual budgeting standpoint, so we don't really need a whole lot of information from them to get a budget started so that they can find out if this particular project is going to be something that's affordable for them to move forward with and ultimately going to be profitable for their business at some point. So that's probably the main thing we'd be searching out right now. And, area that we do work in, anywhere from south of La Crosse up to Ashland, into the Twin Cities, over to Medford. So really a pretty big part of the state here. And then with our Twin Cities office, we do work there as well. So, yeah. And if anyone's also, if there's ever a friend or something that's wondering if you know of an electrician for even how work at their home, that's an area that we help out quite a bit from a service standpoint as well. So I know we're doing a little bit of work right now with Trust Point right now with Ida down there, and appreciate that, Travis. Thank you. And yeah, so that's all I got.
perfect.
I talked to the senior trucks and he said that Brock, the other side of it, was down there doing the work. I told Jason you were down there. He's like, what do you mean Ben's down there doing the work? I'm like, no. Ben's face looks good on the billboards probably, but Brock's probably doing the work. But yeah, no, doing a great job as always. So of course we're happy to.
If you see me on site, doing the install, there'd be questions to arise right away. But
that means there's another zero coming on that piece of paper you passed. Right?
No.
No, always happy to refer. You guys do an awesome job. So happy to
Thank
do
you.
so.
All right, thanks, Ben. And Miss Sarah.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Morning.
I want to do a couple shout outs this morning. So Carrie Jo referred some business to Hooked for another small business owner that she knows, and they are now doing digital marketing with us, and it's going swimmingly. So I wanted to say thank you for the referral. I also am going to give like a personal shout out. I floated and it was really kind of cool. It was very different than anything I've done before. I ended up taking a little bit of a nap. In fact, I was so relaxed, but it's a pretty cool deal. So if you haven't, if you kind of considered giving it a try and haven't, it's worthwhile. And then I want to give a shout out to Ben, who made some introductions internally, and we're going to be doing some work with B&B Electric for digital marketing for them. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. We've got a kickoff meeting tomorrow. So thank you. Those are really, I don't know, I don't have anything. I had kind of a crazy morning, so I'm feeling very discombobulated at the moment. What I would say is that we're heading into 2021 having recovered what we lost when the pandemic hit back in March and April and May last year. We lost almost half of our revenue. And by the end of the year, we were back at the same revenue level that we were back in March. So I feel like it was a big, huge year of running in place. But I also know that I need to be grateful that we were able to make up what we did and come back from where we were. And we're on a path of growth. We've got, I think we're onboarding 4 new clients this month already. So things are going pretty well. And the other thing I'll drop is, I don't know, I may have said this before, but we have a partnership with a company that helps agencies do the technology work behind web development. So we still are the creative and the content developers, and we do all the user interface design. But we have a company that's working with us that can really do a better job than we on the whole technical background of that. And they build those sites for us to our specifications, and then they will help us maintain them and make sure that they're functioning correctly over time. So if you know of anybody, I mean, I think part of maybe, you know, with Carrie Jo, for instance, you realize that having some online sales capability really helped out. I think that is something that we all as business owners probably need to give second and third thoughts to. What can we enable from an online perspective in order for people to be able to engage who are dealing with some of those fear factors? So if you know of organizations that are thinking about website refreshes or adding the capability of e-commerce, those would be things that I'd be able to talk with them about and maybe provide some services to.
Perfect. Well, thanks for those shout outs. That's good to hear that, you know, because as we started at the very beginning of this group, we weren't going to be like B&I and have you guys sign slips and say, this person gave me a referral, or here's a referral, so-and-so. So it's nice when those shout outs happen to, you know, show that obviously this group is working and stuff is happening. Obviously, there's a lot more transactions that happen behind the scenes that doesn't always translate and come out here in the group. So it's always nice for those shout outs, you know, to show everybody like, yep, this is working without actually having to be the babysitter sitting over the top. Like, did you give a referral this month? Did you give a referral this month? So appreciate those shout outs there, Sarah.
Yeah, agreed. And one of the things that I'll just kind of add to that is that the work that Hook does is work that most people don't really fully understand, because unless you work in that digital space, it's a little bit of a mystery. So there's a trust factor. There's a trust factor that has to happen, and that takes time. So I would always encourage you, if you have somebody who's just interested in knowing about what it is and what we do. I often have multiple conversations over a long period of time before somebody has established the trust factor and the interest level and kind of this direction where they say, yeah, we actually want to do something here. So don't be afraid to make referrals of people who aren't ready to do anything or just want to learn more.
Perfect. All right. I'm actually giving one more quick plug before we let Bonnie go on her stuff. So as you guys all know, I'm working on my project, Community Coffee. That is running right now. The second giveaway for the Hive is going to end tomorrow. So if you haven't already, go out, like, share that video, comment. $20 gift card. They have some really nice stuff in there. When I was in there filming, I was supposed to do Chic Sweets on Tuesday. I was supposed to film with them, but they closed down because there might be an exposure to COVID. I haven't heard back from them yet. So I'm in a pickle right now. If anybody knows of anybody, or Hannah, if you want to step up or something, or if you want to wait till you move to your new space. I need to film somebody
Blake.
between now and Sunday so that I can post it out on Monday. So if you know of like a bar owner, a restaurant, a boutique, anybody like that that wants to possibly, yeah. I just need to find someone so I can fill that space for the next 2 weeks for my Monday video. So
Hey, Blake, I know they're not, I mentioned when we were talking once about Freedom Fitness. Did you ever make any connection there?
I did not, but maybe we could, after this, you and I can chat or something like that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I can just get in front of somebody, it takes me all 20 minutes to film, we do a 5-minute pretty much sit down talk, and then I just grab some filler video, and then I buy a gift card or whatever.
Or
So
maybe Carrie Jo? Carrie Jo.
I never caught what the video is about, what you're doing.
oh yeah, so I'll run it really quick so before we get by some of our time. Pretty much my project is called Community Coffee. I'm just highlighting small businesses in the area, and I literally just come in there. It's just a video of you and me sitting down. I have my coffee mug, and I just pretty much ask you questions about your business, and we talk about your business. And then at the end,
Do that if you
I'm gonna do a giveaway for a gift card. And so then people then, have to come like my page, like your page, like and share the video, and then do some interaction in the comments about something, or tag someone or something like that, so it gets more engagement. So actually, yeah, Carrie Jo, you and I maybe could talk about it too.
Yeah.
For sure. So we can talk after the thing here too. So I want to make sure Bonnie gets her full allotment of time here, since she got all nice and dolled up for us. So
Whatever.
go ahead, Miss Bonnie.
You can keep going because everyone knows presenting is my favorite thing. No, Happy New Year, everybody. Just kind of get a quick update on what's going on with me and Atmosphere out of the way, but we ended up the year really strong. We had back-to-back installs nonstop the last 3 months of the year, where we pulled crews of installers from our Minneapolis and Madison locations just to try to stay like on track with everything. So so there's been like definitely some growth. I doubled my sales last year despite COVID, which was really exciting. And surprise, surprise, my company wants me to do even more this year. So definitely going to be making some changes with how I work, just trying to lean on my team more. We're growing the team here in Eau Claire, especially from a project management install perspective. So if any of you guys know anyone that would be looking for some sort of a install of furniture job, whether it be someone who just wants to put stuff together or someone who has more of a, I don't know, like a handyman construction type or handy woman background, where they could even like be more of a leader on a job site. We're definitely looking for people. They have to be able to pass a criminal background check and a drug test, because we have run into that a few times where we've had some really good prospects, and Atmosphere is really picky about who they hire as far as that goes, because obviously they're at our client sites, so they have to check out that way. But if any of you know anyone looking for work that would be into something like that, please send them my way and I can get them information on how to apply or if they have questions. So otherwise, I think I will just see if I can share my screen here and go into my presentation. Okay. So can you guys see my browser here?
Yep.
Okay, so feel free. I know it's kind of hard on Zoom to jump in and unmute, but if anybody has any questions, feel free to pop in. I just kind of wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what we're doing from a kind of being a thought leader as far as what the new workplace looks like. Coming out of 2020 and COVID and everything, one thing that's really important for Atmosphere is to always be a leader as far as what's going on and not be just reacting to what other people are doing or what our clients ask us for. We like to try to be in front of it and set trends and all of that. So if anybody's interested in this, I can send the link out after, but we have a whole section on our website about what we call the evolving workplace. And so we are able to give virtual work lab tours now. Our work lab, well, basically our offices are called work labs because they are a showroom, but they're not like what you might think of going into like a home furniture where there's all this furniture with like sales tags on it. All of our offices are actually a working showroom where people are working at the furniture, our staff, so that when we give tours, clients can see how the furniture actually functions and it's not just like out for show. So that was a huge sales tool for us in the past. Obviously, with COVID, people are less excited about coming into spaces. So our marketing team has worked hard to put almost all of our work labs on a virtual 360 tour. So we're able to do that now remotely. And then we've developed a whole series of thought starters for different industries, whether it's corporate, healthcare, education, talking about some of the different changes that we can help our clients make so that when people come back to the workplace or clients come back, people are feeling safe, both from like a health and wellness perspective and just also kind of how people are feeling just emotionally, mentally, since everyone's at different levels. So we have a ton of different ideas that we can share with people. We also have tons and tons of resources for people about, coming back to a post-COVID office and the importance of the workplace and all sorts of different things. So we are nonstop putting things together and presenting these resources to our clients. So I am going to show you guys a little bit from our corporate thought starter deck that we present to clients so you can kind of get a feel for what we're sharing with people. So let me open that one up. And this is a document that, I don't know, I mean, you can probably spend an hour and a half, 2 hours going through with people. So I'm going to zip through this pretty fast, but just kind of give you guys a rough idea of some of these ideas that we're looking at with people that can be kind of small tweaks to where people are working. We have like 3 main focuses that we try to help our clients with as far as coming back to the workplace safely, and that would be changing up the density of the workplace, so making sure that spaces are more spread out, whether that be people working from home or working in different areas of the office, so people aren't so tightly packed together in the space. Then we're also helping people with geometry, so that would be more like just simple changes you can make where, maybe in your workstations, instead of everyone side by side, you're kind of zigzagged so that everyone, simple changes of the geometry of where people are sitting can provide extra space. And then division is a big part of it too. It doesn't necessarily have to be cubicle walls or physical walls, but just different ways to divide up the workplace so people have that feeling of privacy and safety and division from other people and their germs and whatever else. So a lot of these ideas kind of show and demonstrate those three principles.
Bonnie, I just want to ask, are we supposed to be seeing something on the screen? Because
Can you guys see my-
does anybody
yeah.
else? Oh, there it came up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can you see a workstation, Hannah, right here? Okay, all right. So in some of these different examples, you'll see like a before in the lower left corner, which is maybe what people are used to before COVID, and then how with some simple tweaks, we can make it a little bit more post-COVID friendly. And I also wanted to mention too, it's like, why would you even want to go back to the workplace after all of this? I know some people like working from home, or companies are excited about sending people home so they can save money. I know from what Atmosphere went through back in the 2008 recession is that companies sent people home in droves, especially in our Minneapolis market. And what they found out after was there was a huge swing back to the workplace a few years later, because they realized just how much talent was lost or disconnected, engagement went down, productivity went down. So we're anticipating seeing similar situations again as some of these companies embrace going back home again. Plus, as we all mentioned earlier, and in a lot of these meetings, a lot of us are getting really sick of Zoom, and we want to be in the workplace, and we want to be connecting with people and sharing ideas and having the resources available to do our best work. So our main goal is to be able to set up spaces for our clients where they can leverage their workspace, but also have that feeling of safety. So you can see in this image, just with a few tweaks of rotating the workstations, adding some dividers, they're basically using all the same furniture that they did before, but just in a different way. And it just really changes the feeling of where people are working. So same thing here. This is what they had before. We can do different things with just stacking cubicle walls higher and really simple changes that people can make. We have a lot of different options as far as creating little dividers between people, or like adding things to lounge spaces to kind of make people feel safe in a little like cove area. So here's some different examples of storage that can be used as dividers. So it's sort of like two functions. It divides people, but also provides more storage space.
Bonnie, not sure if you're watching the chat, but Nate had a good question about if furniture would be like employees or employers are looking to send furniture home.
Yeah, so thanks for pointing that out, because I don't have my chat window up, but it kind of depends on the company. We've had some companies just let employees take home whatever furniture they want temporarily or even permanently. So that's an option that we've seen. And also we have companies that have started work from home programs so that maybe they give each employee a certain amount stipend that they can have some flexibility to buy what they need for working at home. And pretty much all the manufacturers we've worked with have really ramped up their pretty like simple work from home office furniture and made things more affordable for people to be able to buy things if they choose to work at home either temporarily or permanently. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Some companies I know are just not allowing anyone to take anything home because I think they're worried about it coming back. So it just kind of depends on culture.
Bonnie, I guess I have a question too. So like when you come in and you redo somebody's office space, what happens to that old furniture? Does Atmosphere acquire that, and do you guys sell that like warehouse style, or what happens there? I was just thinking, I know quite a few other people in my industry and some others as well that are just kind of one man or two man shops that would
Mhm.
have to be looking for a good deal on some nice quality furniture for working at home, and just wondering if you guys do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, all of the images I'm showing are using existing furniture and just adding to it. So these, we wouldn't be really taking anything out. It kind of depends on the client if they have storage. We have some clients that as they reconfigure and move things around, they have like a storage area where maybe they put a few extra parts and pieces or cubicle panels until maybe they need them again. Otherwise, we also have the flexibility in our warehouse that we can store furniture for our clients. We have a special furniture inventory tracking system that barcodes every part and piece, and people have real-time access to their furniture inventory. So say maybe they switch things up in the future and add people again, we can take that, check that furniture out of inventory and bring it in and reconfigure. If people are just like completely just wanting to get rid of stuff, we can definitely remove it. We don't resell used furniture at Atmosphere. Typically, people don't, there's really no money in it, to be honest. We either recycle it usually, or we will sometimes donate to Hope Gospel Mission. We've done that quite a few times. And Hope Gospel Mission, Bargain Center, and Building Hope, if you ever shop those places, you'll see commercial furniture. Either maybe we've picked it up or some of our competitors. I know we work a lot with Mayo Clinic, and they have a lot of patient recliners at Hope Gospel Mission Bargain Center. So usually, yeah, but we don't have like a big sale or anything usually of client stuff. So hopefully that answers that. So I'm just gonna kind of click through this really quickly. Just you can see a lot of just increased division, spacing, all of that. We have a lot of these individual focus areas that we promote also for privacy and distance. If you ever come to our office in Eau Claire, you'll see we have a couple rooms with these glass walls. These walls are actually furniture. They're demountable walls that attach to the floor and clip into the ceiling grid. So you can always reconfigure and move walls around later on, which is kind of nice. So those are good ways to keep distance. And instead of necessarily cubicle walls, there's definitely a lot of other types of dividers that can bring color and funkiness to the workplace. This is a pretty popular product called the Brody that you can kind of chain together and create different spaces. And then one thing that came out the last couple of years that's really big are pods. So this is just a self-enclosed room within a room that they can be different sizes. So either for one person or a small group meeting, they have special, like depending on the manufacturer, special things in the ceiling so that if there was a fire, the sprinkler system can still get in the little space. But those have been really popular. So smaller sizes. And then just like, I think before COVID, it was a huge trend to kind of bring down panels and workspaces and make things more residential and more homey and collaborative. And I think people still really like that, but now there's all of this like, oh my gosh, COVID, like we can't be together. So creating different small settings, but with division and provide people different areas that they can work in, which look collaborative and are collaborative, but also provide some distance. Using plants even as a divider can be fun and like a good way to bring in some wellness into the workplace. And then you can see like for a lot of like dining areas, it's like removing tables and spacing things apart. You can still basically have the same look, but just temporarily, hopefully remove some of the furniture to help people feel more spaced out. Barriers around booths. This is kind of similar to a pod, but more of our post and beam system to create more defined areas within the workplace. And different kind of creative ways for people to feel shielded. And it's kind of funny, like, I don't know if you ever noticed, like in a restaurant or like an open area cafe, it's always like the booths that get taken first because people just mentally like to kind of go off in a corner or off against a wall and just kind of have that sense of privacy. And then like you'll look at like the open areas, like it seems people will take like the open table in the middle of the room last. So people really like to feel kind of like they're in a little cocoon. And then meeting spaces, just rethinking the conference room. There doesn't have to be a big boardroom table necessarily anymore, but smaller conference tables, maybe some loungy areas people can spread out, and then the use of more teleconferencing. More space division ideas, incorporating storage or just fun ways to bring your brand into your space. We do all sorts of different types of acrylic screens, freestanding screens, screens that attach to cubicles, screens that attach to desks. And then this is kind of the newer thing, is companies actually having more of a cleaning station. So a centralized place that people can recycle and put away garbage, have hand sanitizer, things like that. Having a centralized trash is something that Atmosphere has kind of promoted for quite a while, just because it cleans up the aesthetic of a workspace. So every single person doesn't have a garbage can and recycling at their desk. And it also promotes wellness because it forces you to get up throughout the day and walk over and throw things away. And now we have these cleaning stations, which is new. So rather than just having wipes or hand sanitizer all over the place, having a little bit more of a professional station so people kind of understand, like, okay, this is the protocol entering the workspace. So yeah, I mean, I went through that really quickly, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a sense for some of the things that we're talking to people about. Or so if you have at your own companies, or you hear about other companies trying to get back to work and they're struggling with how to make it work, I would definitely love to sit down with anybody and go into this in more detail and see how we can help make people feel good about getting back to work in 2021 and have that safe feeling where everyone's as comfortable as they can be. So hope that was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. That was, yeah, very good. I know for a fact that like my mom's company, you see a lot of this shift of people working from home and stuff like that. She doesn't think that they're actually ever going to come back. She thinks that their companies now are seeing we can be efficient with our employees working from home. So I do think that it's good that the companies that you have are starting to see that trend also transition to making products for that home use instead of collaborative. Because I know even where my stepfather works, where CBS Square, they, before COVID, were all going kind of that open space collaboration that you kind of see with like Google and Apple and stuff like that. And you walk through there now and they're putting up back up the walls that they just tore down a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's, I applaud you and your company to be able to stay on top of the shifts, because that would be, you see this big, huge trend of these collaboration spaces of, the coffee table with like 5 chairs around it, or beanbag chairs, to be that open collaboration to. Now everybody needs to get into their bubble or stay at home. So that was, because that's what, when I first saw those first couple of screens, I'm like, I'm seeing all these like cubicles, and that's just what it was reminding me of, is like, used to, let's all work together. Now it's like you stay apart, because you're.
Yeah, I think it's just going to keep evolving and changing. I mean, like when you think back to the 80s and 90s of everyone in a cubicle and cubicle farms, and then it got super collaborative and open, and now people are kind of swinging back. I have a feeling it'll kind of just keep swinging back and forth between division and then openness. And so we're trying to stay on top of trends and come up with solutions so people can just feel good about where they're working. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to kind of keep, I think, like switching back and forth. And I think a lot of these options are, I like that they're fairly temporary, because we don't know what the future is going to hold. I mean, we might want some division right now, but maybe in a year or two, we'll feel more comfortable and we can take some of that stuff off. And then God forbid there's another pandemic in a few years, like we can build some walls back up. I mean,
there won't be another pandemic for about, what is it, about every 20, 30 years, something like that. So we'll be good for a little bit of time. And then
gosh, I hope so.
It's a cycle. But no, very good job. That was very informative. So like I said, I mean, for us, I'm still just in like that whole office setting thing where I'm like my own little office back there, but you can definitely see it with other, like I said, with my mom or even with my stepdad, you see other businesses moving and adapting. So it was good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Was there any other questions for Bonnie? All right. I know it's 9:30, so if you have to jump off, you can. Community events, I do know this Friday, so tomorrow, Jesus, is Coffee and Congress for the Chippewa Chamber. It's a free event. You just have to go and register for it, and we'll send you the Zoom link. It's a great event. The Oak actually gets attended pretty good. I don't know exactly. I'm always bad at this. Sarah probably will tell me what it is, but when's the next bob for the Chippewa Chamber? Those, honestly, they've been pretty good for being online, because you get beer, and I think the last time we got beer and schnapps. So I mean, it's for $5, you get a couple beers and you get to network with some people. They do breakout rooms. I think last time they even did games in one of the rooms, so there's people that won prizes off of that. So it's pretty good if you haven't attended one of the Chippewa bars. Yeah, it looks like Sarah can probably tell me what it is.
I'm not sure when the next Chippewa and BA is, but the Eau Claire Chamber is doing one on Monday.
Okay.
The first that they've done in a long time. It is virtual. I think it's the first virtual one that they've done. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bonnie. It is. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly what to expect. There's also a sales conference happening next week that the Eau Claire Chamber is doing. Might be of interest to some of the folks on the call. If you go to their website, eauclairchamber.org, you can look up their events page. It's called Momentum, and it's a virtual sales conference. I think it goes like 8:30 to 1:30, something like that. So that's a possibility.
I don't know if Chippewa Chamber has a scheduled their January one yet, because I don't see it on their Facebook. But just be on the lookout for that one too, because I mean, right now that's the only way that people are kind of getting some networking out. So obviously you have the Eau Claire one going on there, Chippewa Chamber. Otherwise, I don't know of any other community events, because normally this isn't a good time for community events, because everybody wants to just stay hunkered in.
Mhm.
But, you know, we could always, if we want to do another Stowe show, we can always all go ice fishing together. You know, set a fire out there on the ice, and so everybody buy a fishing license. And if you don't want to fish, that's fine. Just show up, buy a fishing license so I can use your free lines. You know, that's the reason why I'm bringing my son out on Saturday. Like, here you go, kid, sit in the shack, use your phone. Daddy just got 3 more lines.
I just looked online on the Chippewa Chamber and the next business after hours is the 25th.
Perfect.
It's
Okay,
called
perfect.
It Bought in a Cooler.
Wow, cool. Yeah.
You pick up a cooler or they can deliver it. $5 to attend. It's Group Health Cooperative, Sandbar, and Grill and Spring Street Sports are the sponsors.
I will say the Coffee and Commerce is a good thing too, because they do a giveaway at the end. And the last Coffee and Commerce, I won a book and Bob Pass for the year. So I'm actually get to go to all the bars now for free. So I'm getting free beer for the whole year. So I like that. But I mean, you know, the little giveaways and stuff like that. So if there is nothing else, we can wrap this up. Unless anybody else says anything. Going once. We're going twice. All right. Well, Bonnie, thank you again for presenting. Very great presentation. Thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully, we can start to get back together in person again. I think there was like either was a COVID or a potential COVID case in our Eau Claire office. So I got a feeling my office is going to be shut down for at least another month before we can potentially get back there. But eventually we'll be able to meet outside again as a group and sing Kumbaya and all the fun stuff. So otherwise, everybody have a good day. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.